Emergency crews are slowly restoring power to thousands of homes across Sydney after fierce thunderstorms. 3 people were struck by lightning from a total of 3,000 recorded lightning strikes across the Greater Sydney region. There's also heavy rain and wind gusts of up to 80 kilometres an hour, bringing down trees.
I heard a really loud crack, a lot of wind, lightning, and looked out the window. My 6-year-old's screaming, and yeah, the trees landed on the cubby house.
The lightning sparked several bushfires.
Şubla. وين الكلمات
Intense airstrikes batter the city of Raqqa under the control of Islamic State militants. Activists say Syrian government forces launched a series of strikes on the city, killing at least 7 civilians, 5 of which are said to be from the same family. This video, obtained by Reuters, purports to show the aftermath as stunned residents survey the destruction. the second deadly assault by the Syrian army here this week. 2 days earlier, a Syrian monitoring group says at least 63 people were killed when Syrian warplanes struck Raqqa. The Air Force has increased its strikes across Syria since the US-led coalition began attacking Islamic State targets in the war-torn country.
A British diplomat. He's now said to be a member of the security team, the civilian security team for the British delegation, killed in Kabul when a car laden with explosives detonated when a convoy of vehicles was going by. 5 killed, this person included. 5 killed, 33 wounded, including a number of children. The Taliban taking credit. You see the aftermath there. Very grim business. Taliban really sort of moving in again in so many areas in Afghanistan, if indeed they ever left. A number of attacks in Kabul, in that region in recent days, and in other places across the country, raising the question, as the U.S. and coalition presence winds down in Afghanistan, will the Taliban again be on the rise? The U.S. presence expected to, within weeks now, to go down to about 10,000 troops or so through most of next year. They will continue to do some training, advising, assisting of Afghan security forces. They will continue to conduct counterterrorism missions against Al-Qaeda and Taliban operatives. But right now, you know, if anybody ever thought the Taliban really left town, they certainly appear not to have done that.
Bob Moore Chopper 4 was over the chase within minutes, police trying to pull over a driver. Tonight we know her name is Maria Moore.
The pursuit wound through several city streets. Somewhere on Pennsylvania, the vehicle pulled to a stop and the female driver exited and ran from the vehicle.
From there, a man got behind the wheel and kept going, with police and Chopper 4 hot on his tail until he literally ran out of road.
Pursuing here into Mustang, where the vehicle crashed through a fence, coming just short of a military facility, Armed Forces Reserve facility here on 400 block of Cedar Springs.
But the drama didn't end there. The driver was not giving up.
The male driver then fled from the vehicle on foot and was tackled by 2 military members from this facility and then by officers.
Video from Bob Moore Chopper 4 shows what looks like an officer running towards the suspect from the bottom right of your screen. He goes in between 2 trucks, jumps on the suspect, and begins punching him.
I can't comment on any of that. I'm not sure what happened there, so any use of force that might have occurred will be investigated.
Tonight, police say that wanted man is Wayne Calbaugh, a wanted felon who's now accused of running from police and having a gun.
Now, today's weather was certainly a change from the 70s that we saw earlier this week. And in the mountains out to the west, it's still coming down pretty hard. We sent Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell north and west today, and he's joining us now live from Hancock on Storm Watch tonight. Hey, Brad, actually, it looks beautiful out there.
Thank you, Leon. I think it does look absolutely spectacular out here. You're right. We went looking for snow today, and this is where we found it. You know, we had to get just past to Hagerstown before we really started seeing any snow accumulating. And here in Hancock, they never really had any rain. It was snow from the outset, and we can take a look here. I'll show you how deep it got. It's about 4 to 5 inches. I've seen cars with more on top than that, and you can see this is the heavy packing snow stuck to everything, stuck to the trees, and that's what makes it really so pretty. Take a look out here onto Main Street, and you can see that they're down to bare pavement here, but that's because they've been working hard all day long to get that progress. Now, out on the main roads, I-70, we've seen the conditions vary through the day, from slushy to clear to snow-covered. There were some slowdowns. There was at one point a shutdown of I-70. I want to show you one more thing. Just an absolutely beautiful sight as we look across to the C&O Canal. That bridge, absolutely gorgeous. They're going to have a white Thanksgiving here and handcuffed. Leon, back to you.
All right, thanks, Brad. Enjoy it.
Beautiful indeed, a little winter wonderland. Well, one of our producers shot this video this morning in Alexandria, not far from the Mark Center, just as the snow started to fall, but not much was sticking inside the Beltway today. Jay Korf picks up our team coverage now, live in Linden, Virginia, where it is a completely different story tonight. Jay?
Well, it is certainly gorgeous out here and beautiful, as you can see around me, with all of these trees and branches covered in white, but it has been dicey and extremely dangerous. Let me paint the picture for you. This road was an absolute disaster earlier in the day. It's actually a fairly well-traveled road between Warren County and the Fauquier County line here in Linden, but this is the top of the mountain. So there's a lot more ice, there's a lot more snow. These are folks, for some reason, are stopping right off on the side of the road. Anyway, I'm going to show you the problem. Earlier in the day, I'd say maybe a few hours ago, cars were crashing left and right. This is a Mercedes that flipped over, went off the roadway, flipped over. Fortunately, no serious injuries. There were a couple more that went off the roadway. We talked with a lot of tow truck drivers here in the area, and with law enforcement, they actually had to shut down this road for a certain period of time so that they could get the salt and the plows up here. The snow came down very fast. It was very heavy. Once they got the salt truck and the plows up here, things are moving much better. But this is the story here, and coming up at 5, we'll show you even more damage. Pretty dramatic stuff, guys.
Wow, dramatic indeed. All right, Jay, interesting. Well, this
winter weather wreaked havoc on air travel up and down the East Coast on Wednesday, one of the heaviest travel days of the year. The storm dumping rain, snow, and sleet across the Northeast, forcing over 700 flight cancellations Wednesday and 7,000 flight delays nationwide.
My flight was canceled.
Delayed 4.5 hours due to the weather.
About 13 hours. They'll be delayed again.
A travel nightmare at airports and on the road. The storm snarled traffic on several major highways from Virginia to Pennsylvania and on into New England.
This is awful.
Lower gas prices and a healthier economy have given a big boost to the Thanksgiving travel season. AAA estimates that 46 million Americans will travel by air or road this weekend. But despite Mother Nature's refusal to cooperate, some travelers are shaking off the Turkey Day travel woes.
We just need to take our time, be conscious for one another, look out for each other.
It's not the weather. Nature's nature. You can't get, you get mad over that, you set your own self.
A Melbourne woman has been rescued after falling into a 3-metre sinkhole, which opened up beneath her feet while she was hanging the washing. The woman from Springvale South ended up in waist-deep water. Neighbours heard her cries for help 20 minutes later and called emergency services for help.
All they did was using a normal rope, and they used some rescue knots, and they were able to hand the rope down for the lady and drag her from the hole.
She was shaken, but she didn't suffer any physical injuries.